Hey, hope you're doing well. It's a gorgeous weekend here, Middle Georgia, J.M. Wood Honey Hole Farms, down in Fayetteville, Georgia. And today what I'm going to do is jump into, I'm actually going to do a little bit of outdoor feeding for my bees. It's in the mid 80s, believe it or not, end of October. It's warmed up for a second. And I'm going to see if the bees will come to that. Did it last week, worked pretty well. Almost took a day for them to find it, but it was cooler temps. I think they'll find it pretty quick. Great way to feed. You got to make sure in your state or where you are, your state, it's legal. Some places it's not legal to do. And I have lost some hives earlier in the year doing that because I had it too close to hives. And I can't tell you for certain, but I know that some of those bees probably go back and find where the bees are taking their sugar water, and they end up beating up on them. I've lost a few hives doing that, but the key to me is I found that if you just move that feed a long way away, like at least 200 yards, you're likely to be okay on it. So far, so good for me. Hey, I'm gonna do that and then jump into a smaller hive and see how they're doing. Just make sure they're doing well they're prepared for winter. I've been reinforcing them and compressing them, and just want to check, see how they're doing. Stay with me. Okay, now here's a little outdoor feeder that I set up. It's, you see the lake's just over here around from me, but this is about 200 yards from my hives currently. I'm gonna take some thick 1-to-1 sugar water. I've got just a rectangular feeder that fits into a 10 frame. Filled it with some pebbles, pine cones, straw, and I'm literally just gonna take this 1-to-1, pour it on here, and we'll just see. I'm gonna go check that other hive. We'll come back and see if these bees are all over this feed in a matter of minutes. They're probably in less than 15 minutes. We'll see how many bees are attracted to this thing. Stay with me. Okay, now here's a little hive we're gonna check into. They're fairly active still today, and I just want to check on their numbers. They're still out there getting some pollens, and anything that's still got a little bit of nectar. Goldenrod's coming down, but they still look healthy. Let's just make sure their numbers are coming along on the inside. Right. Here we go. Lots of pretty nectar. They're loading it in. That's real close to honey. They're gonna start capping this in no time. They're capping some of that honey right there. All right, so that's looking good. All right, so resources right there. Just saw that little bee flying around. Most of the time, if you see one flying, it's not the bee from this hive. It's another bee. Now there's more honey. Starting to cap some honey there. Looking to see if I see eggs or anything. All right, we got some brood. Lots of pretty bees in here. Pollen. Don't see the queen right off. Looking pretty good. So I got some brood, and might have some brood on that other side. I just can't see eggs right now, right this moment. All right, I'm gonna set that there for now. Okay, let's pull this one. Bet you that queen's on here. Probably. That's some brood, covered brood that's hatching. And I see them backfilling. There's tons of little larvae down there, so she's laid all in here. Okay, that looks good. Don't see the queen on this side just this moment. Brood, there's a queen. Okay, there she is running around. And I see lots of little larvae all down in here, so she's laying. Just don't want them to box her in too much. All right, so queen's right there. She looks good. There's an outside frame that doesn't have much on it. I don't want to insert it yet, but there's room in here. They haven't filled it, so if she needed to lay, she certainly could. But right now it looks good. All right, let's see what's on this one. The queen's on the dark frame. All right, a little bit more covered brood. And a lot of nectar right there. Boy, that's pretty. Pollen on this side. Gorgeous little frame. All looking good. It'll be covered in yellow pollen. Still looks like a little bit of goldenrod maybe that's dying down. A little bit of covered brood. All right, that's looking good. All right. Looks better. Got another frame here, so not a big colony at all, but if I can just keep them in this little single, capping honey, Got good stores. Got a good open area right here. Pollen, honey, capping, and I see them capping honey on this next one too. So not doing too bad. Okay, now bees are still coming in and out pretty nicely. I mean, they're very active. Still getting some pollens and things out there. Goldenrod's dying down. I'm still seeing some other kind of hedges and you know, berries blooming right now, so they may be pulling in some other things. A lot of activity, which is good, and the weather's warmed up, so they're out getting it while they can. Okay, let's go check on that feed I put up. Okay, well, I came back to the feed here. It's probably been 10 minutes, maybe. There's a little honeybee right there. There's one in the middle trying to figure this out. So I see 2 bees on this right this moment. But as soon as they can get back to the hive and do a slight dance here, get dried off enough where they can make it back, it is going to be crazy in just a minute. They'll tell their 4 or 5. They'll tell their 4 or 5. There'll be bees all over this in a matter of minutes. So I'll stay put for a few minutes. Let's just see what happens. Okay, about 2 minutes later, and about 4 more bees have shown up. Let's give it a second and see what happens. Okay, now this is about, I don't know, 20 minutes later. Bees are starting to really pile in here now. You can see them in here just kind of feeding all over the rocks. Does a great job. They'll have this entire thing emptied out in a matter of hours. Most likely before sundown today, it'll be absolutely empty.